G'day everyone, my name's Chris and this is Let's Walk. I'm going to share with you all a story that happened to us 19 and a half years ago. We'd had our first child, a daughter, who's now 21 years old. We thought, well, it's time to start for a second. So we did, and my wife fell pregnant very quickly. She went to have a scan at the hospital and found out we were having triplets. I think I swore when she told me it was triplets. I didn't know what to say. I don't think I swore. I know I swore. And 9 months or 8 months later, the triplets were born. And they spent their first 5 or 6 weeks in hospital at Mitcham Private, which was a fantastic hospital. My wife carried them almost not full term, but as close as you can with triplets. And out came our 3 bundles of joy. 2 girls, 1 boy. And of course they're now 19 years old. The good thing about having triplets is you got those 8 months to prepare. So we knew the sexes. We were able to get the house ready. We were able to rally the troops. We couldn't have got through it without Nana and Nonny, that's for sure. And all the support we got from our family and friends. And that's obviously extremely important. They say having triplets is actually easier than twins because twins compete a lot, evidently. I don't know. I've got a friend who's got twins. They don't seem ultra competitive. But with triplets, one has to miss out. There are only 2 hands, 2 grandmas, 2 boobs, 2 butters can be held, 2 shoulders to be burped on. So there's always one of them missing out, and I think they get a little used to that. The other thing I'll say for triplets is that they become the best of friends, and it's almost like we've got quads because our oldest took to them like a duck to water. It's like we've got 4 kids that are all the same age. Obviously there were some testing times. I won't just spin around because the wind's blowing pretty hard from that direction. Might go back this way. So obviously there were some interesting times. It changes your lifestyle enormously. It's a new car, or a different car, a bigger car. The house gets changed and you're certainly no longer going out to dinner and just packing the baby. In fact, I think it took us an hour to prepare to go for a food shop if we were going out. I think our record number of nappies in the day, because once our oldest saw the others in nappies, she unfortunately regressed back to nappies, so I think our nappy count at the most was over 30 in one day. But that was okay. But there was always something to do. And as they grow up, things get easier and easier. And in fact, I would suggest that the hardest years of having the triplets was 16 to 18, not more to 2. Well, my wife might disagree with that, but trying to get them their learners into their P's, getting them through VCE, watching them become more social and wanting to go out and need a lift here and getting part-time jobs and needing a lift there, going to sport. For a couple of years, my wife in particular was a slave to the triplet machine, where all she did was run them around. And I'll be forever grateful. She has an amazing bond with all of our kids, including T's. We don't really know anything different, so I don't know whether triplets are harder than raising, say, 3 kids that were born 2 or 3 years apart. I don't know. I think in some ways maybe it was a bit easier because all of a sudden they're all there. You're doing the same thing with all 3 of them at the same time. And they all go to kindy on the same day, first time. They all go to school. They all graduate school on the same day. It was an amazing thing to watch. Our triplets are not identical, so they all were born with their own placentas. Like I said, 2 girls and a boy. They couldn't really look any more different than they do. So, yeah, from that perspective, people see them and they don't think that they're triplets, which is, I think it's a good thing. I think they look completely different. Other people think they look reasonably similar. Hello. Dogs having fun on the beach. So as the triplets got older, they all have similar problems and issues together. But a lot of them become issues that they solve amongst themselves. They're very, very tight. They do everything together. They all work at the same place as part-time jobs while they study or work out what they want to do for their careers. So, looking across the little creek, we're just going to turn back. Hopefully the wind's died down a little bit. It's nice on the beach here. So yeah, having triplets changed our life and changed our lives for the better. It meant we weren't going out as much, we weren't as social as much, we probably lost contact with some friends. Like we couldn't go out, but that's okay. You can catch back up with people and of course you make new friends. We were lucky enough to be able to move to country Victoria and have them grow up on a little bit of land and plenty of room to run around, and we were able to purpose build a house that suited our needs. They all had their own space. I think that's really important. Yeah, the best upbringing you can give them, if you do, everybody wants to be able to provide their kids with a better upbringing than they had. I had a fantastic upbringing. So did my wife on a farm. So we always strive to give our kids as good as, or a better upbringing than what we had, in a loving, safe environment. And I think we've been able to achieve that. But when you think about all the memories you have of your kids first time round, you just, in our case, multiply them by 3. The first time they talk, the first time they walk. If one cries, they all cry. When one needs to be burped, they all need to be burped. When one falls over, they all cry. And they all fall over, they all cry. So it's good. Yeah. Buy a trampoline for the backyard. They all go and dance on the trampoline at the same time. They all got their bikes on the same day. Their first bikes. Didn't quite all get their licenses on the same day. Not a little bit later, but generally they've done all of those things together. And generally they've done all of those things, with us. So we've been very lucky. But they've all grown up safely and well, and now they're all pushing ahead with their own lives. And it'll be interesting to see what they have. There's multiple births on my wife's side of the family. So the odds are that one of them will have a multiple birth as well. I hope they do. It's been a lot of fun. Financially, it makes a difference, I guess. You've got to have 3 cots, 3 high chairs, 3, everything. But it is what it is. We had to have a triple seat pram, all those things. Like I said, the bigger car, that we can fit 3 baby seats in. There's obviously the food bill every week is a little bit larger, but you wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way anyway. They've given us a lot of joy, and hopefully, I know they're all in a good place. That's for sure. So triplets, I recommend it. Yes, I don't know how many people would say that, but I recommend it. I think it's been fantastic. It means our house has always been full of noise, and in our house's case, that noise has always been happy noise. Lots of laughter, lots of singing, lots of Taylor Swift being played. Actually, they've all got pretty good taste in music. Not too dissimilar to mum and mine. So, and we're all independent now. Independent and still attached to each other. They're all great kids. They're all well behaved, balanced, and we're extremely proud of them. And yeah, they'll go on and hopefully have the same success in life as their mum and I have had, and be able to bring up their family the same way we were able to bring up them, or even maybe a little bit better. So if you've got any questions on what it's like to have triplets, well, put comments in below and I'll do my best to answer them. I think the most important aspect to a triplet, raising triplets, is the triplets' mum. And they and I have been blessed that their mum pretty much gave up everything to make sure that they were looked after, and she kept the career going and all those sorts of things. So with that, yeah, like I said, Nana and Nonny and family and their mum would have been harder, but their mum is almost like the fifth child. It's not a child. It's almost like the fifth person in their little gang. So they've got their very own wolf pack. Yeah, so if you've got any questions or want to know anything about what it's like to raise triplets, or you're about to have triplets, or you're having triplets and you're not sure how to best go about looking after them, it's pretty simple. You just look after them like they're one baby, just one big baby. It just takes 3 times longer to feed them, 3 times longer to birth them, 3 times longer to change their nappies. Not 3 times longer that they're having a nap, because they all nap for the same length of time as one baby. You get up and do it again. But wouldn't have had it any other way. It's given us instant family and so much enjoyment over the years to have triplets. Yeah, it was hard at certain times, but like I said, probably harder more recently than it was when they were younger. So, yeah, we're just blessed that they're all safe and healthy, and that's the most important thing. Thanks for your time. I'll speak to you later.